Hello, I'm Karen Atkinson of Mindfulness UK, and I wanted to wish you all a really very Merry Christmas and a happy 2023. And through my wishing you well, I would like to take you through a mindful yoga session, quite a short one. But before we begin, just to remember that you need to really look after yourself in this. And you know your body better than anybody. So just listening to what feels right for you, and just taking care if something's a little bit painful and pulling back from that. If it just doesn't feel like something you want to do today, then that's perfectly okay. Just really listening in and responding to your needs as you wish. Mindful yoga, it has been a really powerful, influential, transformative experience in my life. And I have such a passion for it. I've been teaching it for 30 something years now, and I love it more and more as the years go by. And for me, it's helped me to feel really safe and secure in my own body. And I've heard that so often in the patients that I have taught, the clients, the course participants, that it enables one to feel more connected to the body in a very, very different way, in a sort of a really kindly, caring, compassionate way. And that connection is through being able to listen to what the body is telling us, to listen not only to the gross messages, which are the messages that come first, which are often around pain and discomfort, unease, but to then, as we take our time to really pay attention, to be able to listen to the more subtle cues of what's happening for us emotionally and where do we feel that in the body. And over time, it helps us to open up, to be more connected also to our energy systems, so that we can feel when there's a flow of energy through different parts of the body, but also sometimes where there's a sort of a trapping or a blocking or less activation of energy, and knowing that moving our bodies can help us to really release that. So you may well have heard the phrase that goes something like, our issues are stored in our tissues. So what that means is that our issues in our life get held and stored for decades, sometimes in our tissues and our bodily functions, our organs, our muscles, all the different parts of our system, even our connective tissue. And I sort of like to take that one step further by saying, if we work out our tissues, we can work out our issues. So sometimes trying to think through what's happening and trying to apply specific strategies, it can be very helpful, of course, and we teach that. But often this cognitive approach, which is so prevalent in our society today, isn't that helpful in some aspects. And to just allow the body to do the work is so, so powerful. And that comes through what we know of the neurological system and how movement with awareness really impacts on the brain and allows the nervous system just to settle down, that switching on of the parasympathetic. Also the social engagement, if you know anything about polyvagal theory, then mindful movement can help to re-engage us when perhaps we're feeling shut down, cut off, isolated. So this connection works on so many levels, from the outer right the way through to the inner, and from the inner outside. And so not only are we connecting with these things I've already mentioned, but also enables us to align with our core values and to really consider what our needs are on a moment by moment basis. And that's so powerful as we go through our everyday lives, to just check in time and again. What do I need right now? How can I be kinder to myself in this moment? And often the answer is, do something with the body, roll the shoulders, have a sip of water, just stand up and move about, or take some lovely long deep breaths in and out. So you can probably hear my real passion for this way of working. And if you would like to join me for the mindful yoga sessions, you can do on a Tuesday morning. We've been teaching it for years at 9:30 till 10:45. So it's an hour and a quarter online. But also we record it. So even if you can't attend any of them, you can still buy the course and you can do these practices, these sessions with me and the other people who do attend anytime you wish to. And when you buy the course, you can do it several times a week if you like. So courses tend to be about 6 weeks. So you buy a block of 6 sessions via the website, and you can either come to some and not others, or you can attend all or none. So it's completely your choice. And so, yeah, it would be lovely if you could join us in some way or another, whether it's in live sessions or as part of a really growing community of mindful yoga practitioners within Mindfulness UK and beyond. So I always like to start off a practice with lying down and checking in with what's here for us in this moment. If lying isn't right for you, then of course you can do this sitting. But I'm going to get into a lying posture and invite you into finding a place of comfort. So sometimes it's good to start off with your knees bent. We call this semi-supine. That helps to allow the lower back to feel comfortable, to just settle down into the floor. If your neck's sore, if you feel like it's helpful to lift the head up a bit, you might want to put a blanket, a cushion, a pillow behind the head, and just checking in with the neck and tucking the chin in a little bit so it lengthens through the back of the neck. If your lower back feels all right, then extending the legs away, and you might wish to separate the feet a little bit, allow the feet to just drop out to the sides and feel how this impacts on the hips and the lower back in particular. Of course, you can always rest the knees on something. So you might want to put a pillow underneath the knees or a bolster if you have one, or something else. That just takes a little bit of pressure off the back if your legs are in extension and it's not that comfortable. So finding the position for your feet, the legs, the hips and the lower back, and then taking the attention up the spine to the shoulders and recognizing where the shoulders are. Mine are a little bit up towards the ears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lift one and take it away and lift the other. And already I feel like there's quite a bit of space now between my shoulders and my ears, which is really helpful and creates more of a sense of ease and openness in the body. And then considering the position of the arms, turning the palms up towards the ceiling, if that's possible for you, or just having them on their sides and allowing the fingers to gently and naturally curl. If it feels comfortable, closing the eyes, but if you'd like to keep your eyes softly open, that's perfectly fine too. And of course, if lying on your back isn't helpful, you can lie on your side or your tummy. There's no rules here in mindful yoga. You're tuning in to whatever the body needs in this moment. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose if you can, or the mouth. And then sigh the breath out. And as you do that, finding a sense of letting go, of release, of bringing your attention to the present moment as you feel where the spine makes contact with the floor. If you have a little bit of a gap in your lower back, which is uncomfortable, and you don't wish to bend the knees, then you can place something in the small of your back, like a little towel or blanket. And finding the natural rhythm of your breath. There's no forcing. Just being with whatever's here for you. You breathe in and out with awareness. Allowing your attention now to come to the top of your head and feeling the awareness here right at the top of your head. Just noticing the experience and the scalp, the hair. And allow the awareness to flow from the top of your head down through the face, the forehead, the eyebrows, eyes, eyelashes, just softly touching each other if the eyes are closed. The cheeks, nose and the tongue, teeth, jaw, and around the ears. Whole of the face, cheeks, the scalp. And as the awareness flows down through the landscape of your body, it's as if it's traveling on rivers and streams, down through the neck and the shoulders, the throat. Allowing that awareness to travel down the arms, through the elbows, to the wrists and hands, the palms, the back of the hands, fingers and thumbs. Bringing that sense of curiosity as you notice how you feel in your fingers and thumbs. Experiencing the weight of the arms resting on the floor or wherever they're placed. Traveling up once more, going upstream through the arms, the shoulders, and the chest. And as you breathe in and out, experiencing any movement here in the chest, outside, inside, softly and gently, the awareness travels down the front of the body, the spine, the center of the body. Feeling the rib cage rise and fall. Through to the lower back, the soft belly. Feeling into the movement here in the belly. And allowing those rivers of awareness to travel down through the lower belly, down to the tops of the legs, the thighs, knees, shins, calves, to the ankles and feet. Sensing the position of the feet and the toes, the temperature. It's having a sense of connection of all the parts of your body now, and how the earth is supporting your body. Really feeling into this connection, if you're able to, between the body and the earth, between the earth and other bodies lying here in this moment, practicing mindful yoga, meditation. Sensing into the breath. And if you're able to, that flow of energy. Noticing if there's any sensations of movement, of tingling. Just being aware of this, no need to do anything about it. And then inviting you to take some deeper breaths in and out and start to have a wriggle of your fingers and your toes, maybe having a stretch, a yawn. Just very gently bending the knees. Placing the feet hip distance apart. I might just take my socks off and you're welcome to do the same. I like to feel the ground beneath me as I'm practicing to create more of a sense of connection with the earth, Mother Earth, who supports us in our lives in all ways. So feeling the toes spreading, the connection of the soles of the feet with the ground. And if your head's on a cushion or a pillow, just moving that out of the way. And then next time you breathe in, preparing yourself as you breathe out to draw the knees into the chest. So that as you breathe in, the knees come away from you. And as you breathe out, just bringing them closer to the chest. You see, I'm just wriggling my toes and my ankles, just to add a little bit more movement in. And then with the knees and the ankles together, let's have a little rock from one side to the other. Enjoying the massaging sensation of the lower back. And you can really bring a lightness, a playfulness to this, so that if you wish to sort of take that movement up high, you can bring your knees closer to your chest. And notice how that has an effect on the upper back a little bit more. Or if you've detected a little bit of discomfort or unease in the lower back, you can press the knees away. I just sort of let go of the knees, and so I sort of massage into my tailbone, somewhere where I seem to hold a little bit of tension, and it's such a release to mobilize, to give it some attention, some kindness. Good. And then placing the feet back down on the floor, the knees bent. Just feeling the breath. My hands naturally go to the belly to feel the breath here, rise and fall. And let's take our attention now to the shoulders and the arms, interlacing the fingers, turn the palms up towards the ceiling and sensing the opening out of the upper shoulders. Taking a breath in as you breathe out, allowing the arms to come behind you. You can keep the arms straight or bend at the elbows. And we're going to just ease from side to side. So keeping the elbows bent, there's no need to overstrain. And the feet are completely connected to the ground. There's a little bit of tone in the belly, in the abdomen. And you can take the arms a little bit further each time you ease from one side to the other. Good. And then have a lovely long stretch of the arms, stretch of the legs. Push the heels away. And then just inviting you to roll over, if you're able to, onto your tummy. So I'm just going to come to the other end of the mat. Easing over onto your tummy, one hand on top of the other, and forehead on your hands. Allow the lower back an opportunity to release in this position. Really welcoming the breath into the body, feeling the nourishment. And you might want to just lift up one leg a little bit and move that away from your hip, from your pelvis, and do the same on the other side, lengthening the legs and noticing how that feels in your lower back. We're going to go into a little gentle back bend now. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, pressing down into the forearms and the elbows and coming up a little way, noticing if you're holding on in your lower back, in your buttocks and your legs. If you are, just soften there. Shoulders, are they up around your ears? If they are, just allow them to drop down. Noticing how that feels in the lower back. And only doing whatever feels right for you. And we're going to come up onto the elbows now from this position. Just rest the chin on the hands, turn the feet out to the sides. This is known as resting crocodile. So imagining that you're on the banks of the River Nile. Allowing the lower back to soften and release. Feeling the breath in the body. Enjoying this experience of allowing the back to bend in a way it's naturally meant to. After a year of doing a lot of work on a computer, it might feel such a relief to take the back into this back bend. And if this is enough for you, staying here just as you are, but if you'd like to go into Cobra, then bringing your hands back down to the floor. So the thumbs are about in line with the jaw, somewhere like that. Elbows are tucked into the side, forehead's on the floor. Taking a breath in as you breathe out, with the legs staying parallel, the buttocks nice and soft. Slowly let the head come through. You might want to keep the elbows on the floor, depending on how you are in your back. But I just lift my elbows up off the floor, shoulders come away from the ears, and looking forwards. A few breaths in and out, just noticing if there's any holding on going on there. And as you take another breath in, preparing to exhale and slowly controlling it through your core so you're not using your hands too much to come back down. Just finding the floor. A couple of breaths as you just soften back into the lower back. Breathing in, and if you feel like it, coming up. And it might be that you want to come up a little bit higher this time. Just noticing if that feels okay for you. Shoulders away. Keeping some tone in the core. Relaxing the lower back, as feeling into that lovely back bend. The heart opening up to the sky. Breath in and breathing out. Gently coming down. Beautiful. Well done. Turning the head to the side a little, giving yourself a moment of pause to feel the back, be aware of the sensations here. And if there's any sense of enjoyment or nourishment, just really absorbing that, storing it away in your memory banks. And then breathing in and breathing out, coming up onto all fours. So we're going to come into cat posture with the wrists immediately below the shoulders and the knees below the hips. If this is too sore on the wrists, there are some modifications. You can take your hands further away, or you can come down onto your elbows, or you can make some fists instead, so that you're not putting too much strain on the wrists. So any of those, but if none of those are helpful for you, you can still do this sitting up and go through that rounding experience in the spine. So let's just find a lovely neutral position, spreading the fingers wide, just easing back maybe onto the heels of the hands and connecting through the fingers and the thumbs, and doing the same with the knees, the shins, the feet. And just looking maybe in your monitor to see how your back is. Are you tending to do that, or have quite a rounded back? And just see what it's like to have more of a tabletop. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, drawing in the belly button to the base of the spine and rounding the back up towards the ceiling, tucking the tail in, and then the chin comes down to the chest. And as you breathe in next time, softening through the lower back, allowing that ripple like a wave coming up through the spine, and the head lifts. So you can do this in combination with the breath. Or you can just move and breathe as you wish. I start to soften my elbows a little bit to feel more of a flow. And then I always just have a little check-in with how the body is and whether I'd like to just bring some more fluidity into it. So it might be that we just want to allow ourselves to ease back and forth if the knees allow. For those of you who wish, you can really dip down quite low, opening up into the shoulders, just taking care. I'm enjoying my little Christmas tree as I'm doing this. And my lovely angel on the top is from the maternity unit in Tibet that we support through our Wednesday lunchtime meditation practices. They sent me one as a thank you for all the money that we've donated over the years. So I in turn will thank you if you've been coming to those Wednesday groups, because the money that you're giving really supports some good work for little newborn babies in Tibet. Good. So let's ease ourselves back just into kneeling if that's possible. Have a shake of the hands, wrists. And then staying and kneeling if that's available to you. If it's not, then you can go into a sitting posture. I like to have a little block that it helps to lift me up a little bit and opens through the front of the body. So sitting in this posture, Vajrasana, this kneeling posture, and having a sense of as being a piece of string coming up through the top of the head, lifting into the space above, and that lengthens through the spine, and it really has a sense for me of creating space in the front of the body and openness of the chest and the heart. Feeling into the breath, closing the eyes if that's helpful, and then a little roll of the shoulders, just easing through. Noticing what's here for you in your shoulders today. And then one side and the other. Just gently, gently. There's no rush, no hurry, nowhere to be, nothing to do except to connect in with what's here for you in this moment, with mindfulness and kindness. Lovely. And then just sitting with the hands resting on the thighs for a few moments. And if your neck feels able to do this, taking the head down to one side, up to the center and down the other way. Easing from side to side, gently and slowly. Noticing how it's feeling here. You might hear some little noises coming from your neck. Perfectly natural. This is what necks are meant to do. All the little intervertebral discs squishing and squelching a little bit. Well, that's what's happening for me anyway. And then taking this movement a little bit further so that you take your hand down, and as well as the head going over, you're taking your arm over and taking the whole movement down the spine. So we're going to do this softly and gently in your own time. You don't need to follow my movement at all. Just making sure that there's a sense of flow and ease. Again, a few little clicks emanating from the spine, and knowing that this is really supporting it in being healthy. Sometimes we can go for a very long time without doing side flexions. So in mindful yoga, we're just taking the body in the directions, in the movements, the postures that it was designed to do. No strain, no trying to get into impossible situations, positions, being with what's here for us in the body in this moment. Coming back to the center when you've done that evenly, both sides, having a few moments to check in, to breathe with awareness. And then we're going to go into a little bit of a twist. And again, it's a flowing twist. So taking the right arm behind, the left hand across, and then changing to the other way. So you're not turning too much. You're just keeping the sense of elevation through the head, neck, shoulders, spine. And as you go around each time, you might want to just take your hand to the outer edge of your leg and press a little bit more to twist. Oh, noticing what it feels like. It's like wringing out a dishcloth or something, isn't it? To really allow some movement here. Quite delicious. Okay, coming back to the center. And gently, we're going to transition to standing. So taking the block away, if that's been there for you. And then we're going to come up to standing, just nice and gently, in your own way, in your own time. Bring your feet into a place where they're about hip distance apart. If you feel that bringing your feet into alignment is giving you sort of a knock-kneed feeling, then you can turn them out a little bit. It's up to you. And then again, feeling that sense of lifting up through the top of the head, close the eyes, allow the breath to flow really freely through the body so that there's a sense of fluidity, of connectivity as the breath comes in and out. And as you draw the breath in now, just allowing a sense of it coming from the ground up to the center of the body. And as you breathe out, coming from above and down into the center of the body. So imagining the breath coming up with the in-breath to the center and down as you exhale to the center. So feeling into those sensations if you can. Noticing how that is to allow the energy to come up from the earth to the center of the body and from the sky to the center. This place, solar plexus, which gives us the energy, this fire in our belly. And then just softly release that, opening the eyes if they've been closed. And we're going to go into slightly stronger postures now, just to give you a little bit more of a flavor of some of what we do in mindful yoga. So I'm going to invite you to take your feet about one leg length apart, making sure you feel safe doing this, but just doing it in a modified version if this isn't comfortable for you. Turning your right foot out so it lines up in the middle of your left foot, so just checking in with that. Your left foot might turn with the heel out a little bit, that's okay too. But keeping the pelvis forwards, bending through that right leg, keeping a nice upright posture. Take a breath in, breathing out, take the arms out to the sides. And just roll the hands up to the ceiling. And notice as you do, even looking at me, how the shoulders roll down either side of the spine. And keeping the shoulders at either side of the spine, you can turn the hands so that their palms go down. So you might want to do that another time, just rolling up with the palms to the ceiling, just recognizing how that impacts on the shoulders. And then back down. Bending through the knees so that it's above the ankle and doesn't go beyond. And then turning to look down the right arm, this warrior pose. Drawing in through the core. And this is a strengthening posture, so it might feel really quite gentle to begin with, but as the muscles start to have to work to keep you there, you might feel the grounding aspect of this warrior posture. And as you breathe out, having a feeling of sinking down to the ground, but there's a power in it. This extending through the middle fingers, the hands, the arms away from the shoulders, connecting out into the world. Feeling the breath. And then breathing in, and next time you breathe out, just let the elbow come down to the thigh and let the arm come up and over. My arms come into the sunshine. And then I like to turn the palm up so that I can feel a little bit more of a stretch into the shoulder, down the arm. And let's just slowly take that back up. Transitioning in mindful yoga is really important. Being aware of all the aspects of experience. And just turning the feet so that we're going in the opposite direction. Just taking care this side. It might be quite different in your body on the other side of the movement. So lining everything up first, then bending through the knee. I like to just really open out here so that the knee is directly over the ankle, but watching that this hip doesn't want to roll, just drawing it back. Take the arms out to the sides, and let's just do that rolling of the hands up and back a couple of times. So taking the palms up, notice how the shoulders immediately come down either side and then down. Doing it again, looking after the shoulders. If they're a little sore, you might want to take the arms down or even just rest them. And taking a breath in, breathing out, turn to look down your left arm now. So we're not sort of shooting out in any direction, feeling as every time you breathe out that you're coming closer and closer to the ground, feeling empowered in this stance. Beautiful breaths in and out. You might start to feel some warmth generating through the body. Keeping the core nice and strong, belly button down to the base of the spine. So there's a sense of stability, of equanimity, of real balance here. Sensing into the effect, the impact of this practice on your body, heart and mind. Taking a breath in as you breathe out, let the elbow, the forearm come down and let the other one come up and over. Allow the hip to keep coming back. Turn the palm up to the ceiling. Let the head go. Beautiful. And then slowly back up and just walking the feet in towards each other, coming back up to standing. Nice and tall. And we're going to finish our postures today with a tree. I thought we might go into a Christmas tree posture. So this is a balancing posture. So you might need to hold on to something if you're feeling a little bit wobbly today. And I'll give you some modifications as we go through it. So there are different stages of the tree, but balancing postures have such a profound effect on lots of different parts of the body, on strengthening the core, to help us to feel more stable, to connect with the earth more fully. Also, you're working on your bone structure because you're putting all the weight of the body down through more bones on one leg than you are the other when you lift it up. And so that helps to stimulate the development of bone cells and really helps the nervous system to soften and release. So standing in mountain and allowing the body weight to come over to the left side and then bringing just the heel of the other foot up onto the ankle. And then offering you some opportunities as the body starts to get used to being on one leg. You might want to just take the foot up to the lower leg or the knee or the inner thigh. Just pressing it into the inner thigh. Or you might want to turn the foot over, which some I know find is quite a helpful place to be. It just depends on how you are in your hip or your ankle. I'm a bit wobbly myself today. So just coming up to whatever feels right for you. Bringing your hands into prayer. Down today a little bit, and then lifting the hands up towards the sky. Lovely long deep breaths in. Just find a fixed point. Just bringing your attention to that fixed point, bringing a meditative posture, a meditative attitude to the posture. feeling into the wobble and being with that just as it is, as we do in life, and coming back to stability. And then slowly transitioning out of it, bringing that foot down, placing it on the floor, feeling a sense of lengthening, and then transitioning to the other foot. Feel the proprioceptors, those nerve and receptors at the end of our legs in our feet, to stimulate up to the brain, just to say we're going in a different direction now. Our bodies are so clever. So just feeling that, if there's any wobble there, just taking your time with the heel just above the ankle, and slowly maybe working your way up the leg. And one side is often less wobbly than the other, as is the case for me today, which is always interesting in itself. Putting your foot in any position that feels right, hands together. And if you feel up to it, taking the arms up above the head. And feeling that you're growing all the time, like you have a star, an angel, or something on top of your Christmas tree. You're lighting up, feeling the energies flowing around the body. Just really feeling into whatever's here for you, the wobbliness, the stillness, the breath. Enjoying these sensations, whatever they are, just as they are. Ooh, well done. And then gently and slowly back down, just having a shake. And let's have a little bit of a twist. Let the hands flop against the body. And then maybe take them a little bit higher, so you're giving your shoulder a pat. Coming back into stillness. Close the eyes. Feel how your body is right now. Softening through the knees, place your hands on your thighs, and slowly, slowly, we're going to ease ourselves down into a hanging forward bend. You've taken the spine into a back bends, side bends, and now a forward bend. Just going as far down as you can, hold onto the elbows, and then maybe have a little swing from side to side. Feel the breath. And then from this position, we're going to ease back down onto the floor or back to your chair if you're going to sit. And just give yourself this last couple of minutes to just tune into how your body's feeling now. So finding a position that feels comfortable for you. So you might want to lie in semi-supine. You might want to put your feet up on a sofa, a chair, or up the wall. Lie on your side or your tummy, or something else. Feeling into the breath and allowing your awareness to travel once more through the body, to really tune into the sensations here. The warmth, the coolness, any tingling, fizzing, perhaps some unease, but also some openness, some softness. Just being aware of whatever's here for you in this moment. And as you lie there, sit. I'm just going to read to you a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called Mindful. Every day I see or I hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It is what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these? The untrimmable light of the world, the oceans shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. So as we come towards the end of this mindful yoga session, just allowing yourself to stay as you are if you wish, lying or resting. Or you might want to start to wriggle around and have a stretch, a roll of the shoulders. Just easing yourself into sitting whenever you're ready. And then lengthening through the arms up above once more, really having a stretch as you breathe in and allow the arms to float down by your sides. And namaste. Thank you so much. I'm wishing you all a really very Merry Christmas and a happy 2023. And it would be wonderful if you could join us in our mindful yoga sessions, either in person or just to purchase them and do these amazing practices, connecting with your body in your own time, as and when. So yeah, really look forward to seeing you in some way or another in 2023. Thank you so much. Bye.